morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you, and welcome back to another video. Yes, been a little while, as has been the track record recently. I put one out and then you have to wait a while, and then I'll maybe put another one out. And yeah, this will be a small one. It won't last too long, and that's mainly because it's due to rain quite heavily in the next couple of hours, so I don't think I'll have a lot of time here. But I just thought I'd nip down to Holm Fen this morning. Train's just going past in the distance. Yeah, I just thought I'd nip down this morning because I took a shot in my last video, or at the end of my last video actually, of the floor underneath the water in the mere here at Holm Fen. And it had got some birch leaves, some dead birch leaves. Because it's a really peaty soil, the soil itself was sort of quite rusty, and that gave like a reddish sort of rusty tone to the leaves underneath. And then the sun and the ripples were floating across, and the trees across the top, and it was just a really nice little abstract shot that I quite liked. And I've printed it as a square, and I've put it on my wall in my office, and I really like it. And strangely enough, my lovely wife likes it as well, which is quite a bar to reach. But yeah, I thought what I'd try and do is to come back this morning and just to try and take some similar, very abstract close-up shots, because there's not a lot else going on. It's early March, so it's the time of the year when there's really not a lot of colour. But yeah, I thought I'd come along just to see whether there's anything I can see that's very similar to what I shot before, very similar to that sort of abstract style of using either the mere or using some of the mosses that we've got here. This place is full of sphagnum moss, it's protected. So there's a lot of different colours and textures on the floor here at Holm Fen. So yeah, I just thought I'd come along, give it a go, see what I could find. And I found my first shot quite quickly, actually. So I've literally just parked over in the main car park here where the posts are. I've walked in here to the mere, and stood in a place that I've actually shot 2 or 3 videos from in the past, overlooking the mere here, Burnham's Mere. And looking down, and I'll overlay some video here, looking down to the floor underneath the bottom of this birch, there is a mixture of mosses here. There's the sphagnum moss, and there's this I think I'm not entirely sure what it is, I'm not even going to guess, but the moss itself, or the plant, because I'm not even sure it's a moss, has got a real nice little star shape to it, sort of snowflakey star shape to it, and it's really lovely. There's a lot of this around here. That may well be the sphagnum moss, to be fair. I'll do a little bit of research, and if it is, I'll put a yes or a no on the screen there if it is. But anyway, it looks really nice, and when you're getting close up to it, and when you're mixing it with the other textures around it and the other colours around it, it seems to work quite nicely. And what I've got here is one of the root systems of this birch just branching off in a bit of a T shape. And there's a bit of lighter green, limey coloured moss at the top of the T shape, and then that goes off to the left. So you can see the root system underneath, and then you've got these lovely little star-shaped mosses around it. I framed it up on the back of the camera as a square, just to make sure it works. I should be taking it as a full frame, but I framed it as a square, just to, as I say, make sure it fits in with that style that I want to end up printing, and hopefully put alongside the other one I've got on the wall if I can get this and whatever else I can get this morning. So yeah, not a bad start. I hope it edits okay, I'm sure it will, and I'll put it on screen for you guys now. I meant to say on that last piece that obviously I focus stacked that image probably about 7 or 8 different points, just to make sure it's sharp all around. I'm not shooting with the macro lens, so I'm on 100 to 400, so, and I'm on f16 to give me as much depth of field as I can, but still got to focus stack it. And I'm sure even by doing that, it's still not going to be sharp all over, but it'll be good enough for what I want anyway. I didn't realise how hard this is. I tell you, for those who watch Simon Booth's channel, and you know I've called him out several times, if you don't subscribe to Simon, you must do, but if you don't, just go over and see his stuff. It's excellent. But I didn't realise how hard it is to look and see and find these sort of more miniature compositions. It's a real challenge. It's an enjoyable challenge, but it's a real challenge. I've come over to the middle part here where I knew there was a lot of ferns and bracken that have just died off and they're flat, but they've got some lovely shapes and textures to them. And we've also got some dead birch leaves on the floor, and the colours of those are sort of rusty reds and oranges and browns, and I'm thinking there's got to be a composition here on the floor somewhere. But I've literally just for the last 20 minutes been walking round in circles looking at the floor. If anybody walked past with a dog, they probably think I lost something or something. It's, you know, literally just walking, really stopping and staring and trying to look and see, as Simon says, and it's bloody hard. It really is. And I don't think I've really found what I was intending to or hoping to find, but I have found something. It's a little bit easy, if I'm honest, but I guess I'm taking it because it's got two elements that links to Holm Fen, and I didn't want the shots I'm taking just to be shots that theoretically you could take anywhere, and I guess you could say you could take this anywhere, but it links to certain sort of environmental elements of Holm Fen. One is the, in fact, let me turn you around. Where is it? Down here. So one is, obviously we've got the peat bog, so the dark peat bog on the floor down there, and you know that's all across this fen. And then we've got one of the Bracken fern stalks across the top of it, and because it's on top of that dark peat bed, it is standing out more, so it's given a lot more definition to the shot, and a lot more sort of, you know, contrast between the lighter coloured ferns and the darker peat bog behind. But it's easy, you know, it's a very straightforward shot. Again, I'm f16 to get as much depth of field. I think I've focus stacked this one about 4 or 5 times. I've got the polarizer on just to try and bring out a little bit of colour, but we'll see. I don't think it's going to be great, but it's another one, and it's just another step forward in my little challenge to try and find a few more intimate shots of the fen here, close-up stuff. And I must admit, it's good fun. It really is challenging, but good fun. Anyway, here's this one. Well, I've actually only walked, what, 10 yards? I was just over there, standing, taking that shot a second ago, and I walked back through this area of bracken that I was talking about. And again, probably not 100% what I had in mind, but it's a slightly different variation on the shot I've just taken. It's still of the same flat fern fronds sticking out, but there's 2 or 3 here all clumped together. And I just like the interaction of the little stems in the fronds that are going across each other, and they're making nice little angles and shapes. Let me quickly show you. Where is it? Down here. So I don't know whether you can see that the sort of little angles here of the fronds that are just, let me get it closer. There you go. They're just sort of interacting with each other. I thought quite worked. They are slightly different shades of colour as well, which add a little bit more interest to it rather than just being all the flat same colour. But let me just quickly show you on the back of the camera what I've framed up. Yeah, so you can see I've actually got it framed up as a square, and yeah, just to like the interaction of the interaction. I sounds so pretentious, don't I? The interaction, but just these little strands of fern just coming across, that one pointing that way, that one pointing in that way, that one pointing up, these go around here. I think they just work well together. It is all the same, well, it looks on the back of the screen all the same colour, but it's not. There are different colour tones in there, which I will bring out in post as well. So yeah, another one, 3, blimey, I'm doing well. Who would ever have thought it? I think I've probably got another half an hour or so before this rain comes, so I'm going to just wander around a little bit further around and see what else I can see there. So I might get another one, but in the meantime, here's this one. I'm not sure how this one will turn out, if I'm totally honest. It's very much an environmental shot. It's a real close-up of one of the branches of this birch broken in half and stuck flat across the bottom of the broken birch's roots. So it's really dark and rooty, but the silver against the dark soil contrasts really well. As I say, I'm not entirely sure it will come out the way I envisage it, but who knows. I saw something, so I've taken it. If it is any good, here's the shot. Right, I'm back at the car and I didn't actually take any more shots on the way back. I think that this type of photography, you can easily fall into the trap of just taking shots for the sake of it, forcing shots through. You know, there's a nice set of leaves that look nice together, let's take it. You know, there's so much that I could have probably framed up and had a go at, but I think that to be able to get something that stands out and is a little bit more thought through in terms of the composition is the biggest challenge in this type of photography. So as I said earlier, hats off to the likes of Simon Booth and others that will spend a lot of time crafting an image rather than just seeing it, framing it, snapping it, editing it, you know. So anyway, on that note, hopefully one or two that I've taken today have been okay, but whatever happens, it's been an interesting little walk around this morning. You know, I've been to this place, as you guys know, so many times, and I normally just shoot the trees, but just to look at something a bit different today, shoot down, look down, try and compose the really smaller scenes has been quite good fun. So yeah, okay, right, I'm off. I'll see you again whenever next time is. See ya.